Welcome to the Deep Dive. You know we love to explore the latest in tech, and today we're diving deep into the future of AI in India.
Oh yeah, AI in India.
We've gotten a ton of research on this, and it seems like everyone's saying India is on its way to becoming a global AI hub.
Yeah.
But what does that actually mean? What's really going on over there?
Well, for one thing, India isn't just using AI.
Right.
They're creating it too.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing this whole wave of homegrown AI startups popping up.
Okay, so homegrown startups, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What are some of the names that are making a splash? I mean, from what you've seen in the research.
Well, you've probably heard of Zoho.
Yeah, they do like business software, right?
Exactly. But here's the thing. They're using AI to analyze all their customer data and predict what those customers need before they even ask.
Wow.
So it's like personalized service on a whole other level.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah. And then there's Freshworks. They're all about making customer support smarter with AI. So imagine you've got a question, you go online, and boom, instant answer.
That's the dream.
No more waiting on hold forever.
Exactly.
And then there's Niramai. And get this, they're using AI to detect breast cancer early.
Oh, wow.
Which could be huge, especially in places where, access to healthcare is limited.
That's amazing. AI that can potentially save lives.
Yeah.
It really sounds like India is going all in on AI. But how does all this compare to what's happening in, say, the US or China?
It's a good question. I mean, the US and China, they definitely have a head start. They've been investing in AI for a lot longer. But India, it's got some serious advantages that could make it a major player, in the long run.
Okay, I'm all ears. What are these advantages that India has?
Well, first off, India has a massive population.
True, yeah.
Which means a massive amount of data.
Ah, data, right. The fuel for AI.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You're teaching a computer to recognize birds, right?
Yeah.
You need to show it tons of pictures of birds, all kinds of birds. And the more pictures you have, the better that computer gets at recognizing birds. Same thing with AI. Data is key. And India, it's like a data gold mine. Plus, their digital infrastructure is growing super fast.
So they've got the data, the infrastructure, and these innovative startups. It sounds like a recipe for AI success.
Yeah.
The research also highlighted some specific areas where India could really become a leader, like healthcare. What is it about healthcare that makes it such a good fit for AI in India?
Well, access to healthcare, it's a big challenge in India, especially in those rural areas.
Yeah.
And AI, it could really help bridge that gap. Imagine AI-powered tools that healthcare workers in remote villages could use, tools that can analyze symptoms, maybe give a preliminary diagnosis, even connect patients with specialists remotely.
Right.
So you're basically bringing quality healthcare to people who might not otherwise have it.
That's amazing. Using AI to make sure everyone has access to healthcare no matter where they live.
Exactly.
The research also mentioned agriculture as a key area.
Right.
And that's fascinating to me because over half of India's population depends on agriculture, right?
Yeah, that's right. And AI could be a game changer for those farmers. It can do things like analyze weather patterns, look at soil conditions, even predict pest outbreaks.
Wow.
So farmers can use that information to, plant at the right time, irrigate more efficiently and all that. It could lead to better crops, less waste.
Basically helping farmers make smarter decisions.
Yeah.
So we've got healthcare and agriculture. What about education? How could AI change the game in education in India?
Well, India has a huge student population, right?
Yeah.
And AI can make education more accessible and personalized for all those students.
Okay.
Think about online learning platforms that are powered by AI.
Yeah.
The platform can adapt to each student's pace, figure out their learning style.
Oh, so it's like a personal tutor for every student.
Kind of, yeah. And then there's smart cities.
Right. The research mentioned that too.
AI can make cities more efficient. Things like traffic flow, reducing congestion.
Oh, I like that.
It can even help predict and prevent crime.
Wow.
Not to mention managing energy better so cities are more, eco-friendly.
So we've got AI potentially revolutionizing healthcare, agriculture, education, even how cities run. Lots of opportunities there.
Yeah.
But let's be real, it's not all sunshine and roses.
No.
What are some of the challenges that India might face when it comes to AI?
Well, that's a big question and one we should definitely discuss. One of the biggest challenges is going to be finding enough people with the right skills.
Ah, the skills gap.
Yeah, we're talking about a whole new set of jobs, data science, machine learning, AI development. India's got a ton of talented engineers.
Yeah.
but are there enough who specialize in AI?
So it's kind of like we built this amazing superhighway, but we don't have enough people who know how to drive on it.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about, training brand new people. It's also about helping the people who are already working adapt to this new AI world. Because there can be a lot of jobs that change because of AI.
Oh, yeah. And some jobs that might even disappear completely, right?
Yeah, so we need to make sure those people have a chance to learn new skills so they could, stay relevant in the job market. What else? Oh, infrastructure is another big one.
Okay.
AI needs a lot of computing power up.
Yeah.
Fast internet connections. And while India has made some serious progress in expanding its digital infrastructure, there's still a pretty big gap between cities and rural areas.
Where the digital divide.
Exactly. And we need to close that gap. If we want everyone in India to benefit from AI, everyone needs to have access.
It's not just about having the technology. It's about making sure everyone can actually use it.
Right. And that brings us to another challenge. Using AI responsibly. AI depends on data, tons of it.
Yeah.
But we have to make sure that data is being used ethically, responsibly. Protecting people's privacy, making sure there's no bias in the algorithms, making sure AI is used for good, not for harm.
So it sounds like what we really need are some clear guidelines, some regulations around how AI is developed and used.
Exactly. We need strong policies to make sure that AI benefits everybody. And that's where, working together becomes really important.
You've mentioned collaboration a few times. Who needs to be at the table to make sure this all works out?
Well, it's got to be a team effort, right?
Yeah.
Got to have the government involved, we need the private sector, and we need academia too. They all have an important role to play.
Okay, break that down for me. What can each of these groups do specifically?
So the government, they can create policies that, encourage companies to invest in AI and encourage innovation. They can fund research. And they can create programs to train people in AI.
Okay, so the government sets the stage.
Yeah. And then you've got the private sector. They're the ones who can actually build the AI solutions. They can bring their expertise to create new products and services, and they can help boost the economy.
Okay, so the government sets the stage, the private sector puts on the show. Where does academia fit in?
Academia, they're like the brains of the operation. They do the research, the fundamental research that pushes the boundaries of what AI can do. They train the next generation of AI experts, and they can help provide some ethical guidance.
Oh, right.
So we're developing AI in a way that's good for everyone.
So it sounds like you need all three: government, private sector, academia. They all need to be working together.
Exactly. And when they do, that's when you create this really powerful ecosystem for innovation.
So this has been a really interesting look at where AI is in India. We've talked about the potential and we've talked about the challenges, but we've focused a lot on what could happen. What about what's happening right now? What's actually being done to make India a leader in AI?
Well, lots happening. For starters, the government's been launching all these initiatives focused on AI.
Oh, like what?
Like the National AI Strategy. It's this whole plan to use AI to boost the economy and, improve society.
So the government is really taking this seriously.
Yeah, and they've also got this National AI portal. It's like a one-stop shop for anything AI related.
So it's kind of like a central hub for AI resources.
Exactly.
But are we actually seeing these initiatives translate into real projects on the ground?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In healthcare, for instance, they're developing these AI-powered platforms to help diagnose diseases, things like tuberculosis or diabetic retinopathy.
Wow.
Which is really helpful, especially in those rural areas where it's hard to find specialists.
That's incredible. It's like bringing specialized healthcare to those who need it most.
Exactly.
Are there any other areas where we're seeing these real-world applications?
Oh, yeah, tons. In agriculture, they're using AI to help farmers. There's this app, for example, that uses AI to analyze pictures of crops and then gives advice to the farmer on, what kind of fertilizer to use, how to control pests.
So it's like a digital farming assistant?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And this kind of tech can really help those farmers, boost their harvest and make more money.
It's amazing to see how AI is already making a difference. It's not just some future concept anymore. What about the private sector? Are they doing anything?
Oh, for sure. You see a lot of big tech companies setting up AI research labs in India. They're attracting global talent and collaborating with those homegrown startups we talked about.
It's great that they're recognizing the potential in India.
Definitely.
But we talked earlier about the importance of developing AI that's specific to India, not just importing solutions from other countries. Are there any efforts being made in that direction?
Definitely. There's this real focus now on building AI that works for India. Like researchers are creating AI models that can understand and process different Indian languages, which is huge. If you want to make AI accessible to everyone.
Right. AI needs to speak the language of the people.
Hmm.
It's been so fascinating exploring all this with you. So much potential, so many challenges, and so much progress already being made. For our listeners, we really encourage you to keep learning about AI. It's changing so fast, and knowing what's going on is more important now than ever. And who knows, maybe you'll even find yourself being part of this whole AI journey in India.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.